if this is your bad hair day, you should see me in the morning. This made me laugh so much, and not a bad hair day. You look beautiful as always. Next career, karate teacher. Karate. Do I say that word right? I have no idea. Love it, love you. Schön dich lachen zu sehen. It's nice to see you laughing. You make my day. The music choice and the banging of the flower. Thanks for making me laugh once again. You're the best. Thank you so much for sharing. I can't stop giggling. Great technique, hilarious delivery. What? What? Sometimes we have to laugh at ourselves. In the process, this was great. Oh my gosh, how is your hand now? And the music you choose? Love it so much. These comments crack me up. This is just so funny. And these are obviously comments which I got for one of my latest reels. When you see this video, this reel is already like 2 weeks or so old. If you want to see it, I will link it down below for you in the description box. If you want to watch this, please watch it with the music. I think then it's even a little more funny. If you want to check out the musician who has made the music, you know, you can find that here on the bottom of the reel. Yeah, watch this with sound, okay? Because then it's even funnier. What have I done here? I wanted to make some cool content for you, and I wanted to try out a new idea. I thought we could perhaps make some flowers with the help of some flowers. I mean, why not? So I was sitting here and I was trying that out, and some of you have asked if you can see the results from that reel. So you have seen I had a little paper in front of me there, and I was smashing the dandelions, and these are the results from that reel. It looks absolutely weird. Someone has written this looks like fried eggs. I totally agree. This is just so hilarious. It's just, I mean, what? And then I thought, this is often one of those starting points where I then think, okay, it's funny, and it was a lot of fun to do it, even if I look really like, you know, like this all over my body. I mean, here is paint all over my body. Even if I had a shower already, I couldn't get it off. It's so weird. But that is often such a point where I think, now I want to go on. Somehow I need to go on to find out if this can lead to something I like. And I want to be really, really honest with you. I already recorded this video yesterday. And this is part of my Raggedy Turtle Bloom Junk Journal series. And what we are going to do today is like a little time travel. If you have seen my last video, then you have seen already a journal made with this paper collection, Raggedy Turtle Bloom. So that means you know already way more than I do, because what this is my first day of working on this journal. I have my pages printed out here, by the way, on 110 GSM matte photo paper. And now I'm starting to make my journal. And I record these videos for me in my reality, obviously in the order I make the journal and in the order of the steps I do. But you see those videos in a little different order. So that means what I record in the very end, which is my finished journal, that is what you see in the first video, which is the paper premiere, which you have already seen. And now we go back in time, and I want to show you parts of my process of making this journal. And what I also want to say is thank you to all of you who have written that that is a good format for you. This takes a lot of effort for me, a lot of thinking and organizing, time management things and so on. It's really hard for me to do, even if it's a lot of fun, and even if I think that my brain also has a help with that. And I really enjoy doing this format, but it's a lot of work. And I'm really, really happy that you like this format and that it's helpful for you to see like a finished journal first and then how we came to that point. And you said that it's also for you easier to understand how to use those digital papers, no matter if it's this collection or another one, in a journal. And that is, of course, a really big motivation for me to go on with this format. So thank you very much for that. And I want to be honest with you. This is the second try to record this video because yesterday I did something, and in the first minutes, like 2 hours or so, I was really happy with my results. And then suddenly something happened where I totally, from 1 second to the other, hated what I had on my paper there. And to be honest, I was crying for half an hour or so, and then I realized something. This paper collection is not only a paper collection for me. This is a story which is behind these papers, which I had in mind when I created these papers. And it's not like a story, like a fairy tale or so, but for me it's, yeah, the reality of life. And it's also something where I have a message for you. I have talked about that in the paper premiere already. And I have given you some thoughts there already, but I want to go more into detail about that, what I had in mind when I created this, and what I also want to try to experience for myself while I'm working on this journal. And of course, I share that with you because I'm hoping that you can experience something like that as well. And when I created this paper collection, and especially when I wrote the soundtrack, Raggedy Turtle Bloom, for this paper collection, I was not expecting that I would experience the message of the soundtrack and the message of this paper, because, you know, that is like one for me, the music and the paper, that I would experience the message of that so extremely already in the first moments of making this journal. If you don't know what I am talking about when I say soundtrack, then please go and watch the paper premiere. The link is down below in the description box. There's a playlist link where I put in all of the videos of this series. And the first video, which is called Paper Premiere Raggedy Turtle Bloom, there you can also listen to the whole song. And the song is also included in your download if you want to purchase this here from my shop. And there's also a lyric sheet, so that's why I'm holding this here. And here's, on this sheet, there are the lyrics of the song. And this, what's written here, and what you can hear in the song is exactly what happened to me yesterday. I did something, and then suddenly, as I said, I hated it. And this, what I do now, to be honest, it's for me really hard, because when I look at those papers, I still hate them, but I want to have the courage to show them to you and to take that as a new starting point. I have to concentrate to not vomit to this paper. I think that's an English word. Hopefully that's not too bad language. In this song, it says, moving slow with weathered shells, but now we journey on and on and on.
Moving slow with weathered shells, but now we journey on and on and on.
No storm will ever break apart the bond we made from ruins.
No storm will ever break apart the bond we made from ruins.
This picture that something is made from ruins is really strong in my head. And here are more of these like lyric pictures which apply to what I experienced yesterday when I did this, when I made this. And I'm really hoping that from this, which for me is a total catastrophe, can come something nice, something in the end, you know, which I like in the end. To be completely clear, I've tried different things here when I realized that I don't like what I have here. So this is not what I had in the very end of the other try of making the video, or of making this. So I thought, okay, this page is ruined anyway. I can scribble over here and try different things, so it looks way worse than at the end of the other process. But I think this is really important, and it's really important to reflect something like this and to also accept that sometimes it first needs to be like this, and perhaps we need to cry, perhaps we need to think, oh my goodness, I've wasted my ink to print this out and now I have to start from scratch. I have wasted my time to do this, and then realize that it's not wasting of time, that it's not, well, a little bit wasting of ink, yeah, but you can still perhaps use this as collage fodder, then the ink is not wasted at all. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes I think we need to go through these crazy and bad stages, not only in junk journaling, but also in life, to come to something beautiful. And this video, and especially this technique, which I want to show you today, I mean, I'm hoping that I can show it to you, because, you know, what is this? That is also like a symbol. And I would like to bring this message to you by trying this again. So let's do that. So what we are going to need is something where we could put some paint in. And then I take this really cheap, I just want to say black, white acrylic paint. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Yeah, and the catastrophe is already again in front of me, or what shall this be? Is it really true that this is now empty? Here we go. Okay. When I made these flowers in the reel, I realized that this acrylic paint is pretty thick. Can you see? It's like too thick. So I want to add a little bit of water to make it more fluid so that it can fly more. And that is already a problem, because when something like this flies through your craft room, that is not so good. Then you look like this.
We are Raggedy Turtle Bloom. Ooh, shipwrecked souls that chase the sun. Oh, moving slow with the weathered shells, but now we journey on and on and on. Every page we stitch together, every shell we leave behind. In a world that rushes past us, I found your hand in mine. No storm will ever break apart the bond we made from ruins. We are Raggedy Turtle Bloom, wild and bright, a loving tune.
And if you perhaps are new here, and if you want to know more about who has sang the song Raggedy Turtle Bloom, check out the description box. There you will find a link to my friend Daniel Evans, because he is the voice of this song. And I can't tell you how excited I am. I mean, this is just such an honor for me that he said yes to my question, would you perhaps be willing to sing these lyrics? And that is just so amazing that he did that. If you like what he does, then please give him a follow. I mean, it's always personal preference if we like this or that music, but to be honest, if you don't like him, then I can't help you anymore. What's wrong with you if you don't like him? I'm just kidding, okay? Please only subscribe to his social media if you like him, because otherwise it wouldn't help him. Yeah, that's the same for everyone on social media. But I just want to support him a little bit, because I think that he deserves way more people who know him, and perhaps you want to be one of those people. So this is my acrylic paint now. This is like yogurt or so. Hopefully that will help. And what I also thought could help is something like a splatter box. I wish I had Tim's splatter box, but I don't. So I am taking this. And I'm really hoping that I now will be able to smash here like so that this is, you know, big enough that I can handle this. Perhaps I should do it like this so that I have more space, and perhaps we should take a clamp or so, a paper clip, to hold this here, because when I did this yesterday, I did it without the box and it was a disaster. The paint is still everywhere. What I first want to do is I want to take one of these and just dip that in here. Oh, and I need something else. I need a second color. Let's take a bit of a vintage photo distress paint. I think that fits well to the other colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this in here, and I want to have pretty much paint on here because I want that this flies around a lot. And I made the experience when we don't have enough paint on here, it doesn't work so well. So then I have this. And is this now ruined? Obviously, this dandelion is now, yeah, not what it was before. But is it perhaps possible that from something like this, and also perhaps with a sound like this or a feeling like this, that there comes something beautiful? Is it perhaps sometimes necessary that something like this happens in life so that we are able to grow into something better, grow into something that we want to be? Because I think sometimes it needs those somehow loud experiences. Perhaps sometimes it needs to hurt that something better can come. And I wish that this was here, but that's obviously not the case. But what I'm thinking is, what if we take this, use this as a first layer, and try to stamp on this a little more controlled in black. So this is black acrylic paint mixed with some water. I want to have it a little bit liquid as well. And I think we are not going to do that everywhere. So here's a little bit of the vintage photo and the white left. And now I want to try to do it like this and do it a little more carefully. And it looks again absolutely terrible and not really like what I wanted, but I will not give up. Let's ignore what just happened and let's try something else. What I don't like about the result on the other page is that it looks like a blob. I mean, when I put my hand on it, obviously I also get a little bit of the impression of my hand and not only what is on here, but I want to try it again. And this time I want to add more water because I want to see if that can help to make it fly further, to get more of these white lines like that. Yeah. That is what I was looking for. Okay, so the trick is obviously more water. Now it's only white because I forgot to add this blob in the middle, but that's not so bad. It's a little darker here because of the pressure, I guess. Okay, so let's take this again. And let's try to make a second one. And sometimes I think, okay, yeah. This is, oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. A third one perhaps here. I think sometimes with junk journaling, we can experience things which are also, which also happen in your daily real life. I mean, junk journaling is real life, yeah, but oh, look, this is not so good, but this is great. Junk journaling is obviously real life. I have so problems to explain what I'm thinking in English, but this could also be a situation in your life, and that you think, I got something like this from my first try of managing this situation, and the outcome is not what I wanted. If you don't go on and if you stop and don't try it again, then you could not come to something like this. I mean, it's now, of course, personal preference if you like this or not, yeah, obviously. But when we transfer this to a situation in our lives, then this couldn't happen if we wouldn't go on and if we wouldn't try it again. No matter how worse our fingers look, no matter how, let's stay in the picture of the song, no matter how destroyed we are, no matter how shattered our shells are, if we don't go on and if we don't trust that it can become better, then we would not come to something like this. And that is really fascinating for me, how much junk journaling and something like this can represent our daily reality. We're going to let that dry. And now I think my flow is starting right in this moment. Let's try it again. Oh my goodness. In here, wait, give me a second. Will that influence the result? Hopefully not. I will put some paper towels in here because I just realized that this golden paint here in the box is coming off from the liquid of the acrylic paint, and that is not really what I want. Can we manage that this turtle comes out from flowers which are here?
Like a quiet turtle, scared to let love tide drown all my tears. But when our shadows touch that dusk in golden trembling light, we peeked out from our hiding place. The whole sea paused that night. We are Raggedy Turtle Bloom. Ooh, shipwrecked souls that chase the sun. Slow with the weathered shells, but now we journey on and on and on. Every page we stitch together, every shell we leave behind. In a world that rushes past us, I found your hand in mine.
There are so many people out there who have great tips and tricks. What you could do if your life is not what you want, yeah? No matter in which direction you want to think that. No matter if we are talking about art or something like mental health issues or body issues or so. No matter what it is, there are so many great people out there who give you tricks and tips what you can do to feel better and to be able to handle situations better. But I think there are often those situations where they say, yeah, keep going, do this, do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I thought, what if there is a situation which you can't handle and you want to listen to the advice of other people, but what they say doesn't work for you? What if you can't do what they are suggesting, even if you are really willing to do that? What if that just is not the right thing for you? And what if healing and handling situations sometimes needs this, and it needs to look like a mess? Perhaps you need to be a mess in life to be able to grow into something better, into, your better self, or how can I say that? Perhaps it needs something like this. I don't want to say that the other people are wrong or that they giving bad advice. I'm really happy that those people are out there and that there's the possibility, especially on social media, that we can listen to those people and follow their advices. I'm really happy that those people are doing that kind of content and they help a lot. But I also think that there are sometimes situations where we need this before we are able to, you know, come to what we really want to be, or how we want the situation to be. Even if we don't know what this is going to become, we will go on and do perhaps one more page, perhaps this one here. This one, where until now no other colors are in the center. That is the one I like the best. This is also nice, but even on here I like these better than this. So let's go on with just white. And I also want to try something else, which I already also did yesterday. I took a piece of pretty sturdy paper. This is just from an empty kitchen roll. You could take some cardstock or whatever. And then I took a punch to punch some circles, because someone in the comments said, in the comments of the reel, I mean, said it is weird that I don't use a hammer and that I use my hands instead of a hammer. So that is true, because if you already know me, then you know that it is really weird that I didn't use a hammer, because normally I use my hammer a lot. So here we go. Because I thought this is worth a try. I tried it also with the dandelions, but when you hammer to a dandelion, the dandelion will fly all over the place. It gets destroyed immediately. So I came to the idea to do it like this. And I can already see that this is more what I want. And I also saw that already yesterday when I tried this for the first time. And perhaps this is an alternative for you if you don't have dandelions. Why is it flying always in into the same direction? Why can't it go a little more to this side? Thank you. Okay. Oh my goodness. Now the paint is on my floor, even if I have this box here. Could you take the hammer and hammer like this, like you would normally use such a hammer? Yes, obviously. But I can't do that because the frame of the box here is in the way. So if I want to hammer like this, it's not possible. So that's why I did it like so. But I think there's not such a big difference. So we are going to let this dry, I think. And then we will see. When I look at this, it's dry now. I think here is one of these flowers missing. And I just wanted to make a new mixture of acrylic paint and water. And while I was stirring this, I thought, what if we have these, how is the English word for this? Is it clumps? I think so. In here, while hammering to it. So I will not mix this completely, not like I did it before, but I want to try. Oh no. What happens if I do it like this, take one of my circles, and then oh no, try to get one or two of these thicker pieces on here. Oh my goodness, I'm a little bit afraid. No, it looks like this. Let's then spritz it with some water and hope for the best. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I think I will do the whole thing again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can you see how much more like a flower this already looks? I mean, if I imagine these are the petals, and this is just the like outline or so, then we can even, oh my goodness, then I haven't expected that. Then we can even see the print through the paint. And oh my goodness, if this dries like this, that would be absolutely amazing. I mean, this is a lot of paint, yes, but what shall happen? It's acrylic paint. We have a ton of texture then later on the page, but there's absolutely no problem with something like that. Okay, I will leave this to dry. And this sounds totally weird perhaps, but it is what it is. I need to say a really, really big thank you to Daniel at this point, because I just came back from his live stream, which he sometimes does in the lunchtime. Is that English? I don't know. But he just did one of his lunchtime streams. And while that was happening, the papers were drying here. And I think without that break, why is this so different now? Without that break, I would not have come to the idea with these clumps. It's different, but here it's at the same time interesting because we have this thick blob of acrylic paint here. Let's try something. Let's take another clump. Let's try to add the water to the paper. Let's see what that gives us. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Want to take a look at my arm? By the way, my face looks exactly like that as well. Why is it, oh my goodness, why is it flying so far? It's even here on the page, but that's not the baddest thing. What did I do different on the other page? Was that coincidence on the other page? Oh no, I don't want that it is coincidence how this comes out. My brain is trying to process this. What if I take my little ideology texture hammer instead of the big one? Why? I mean, why am I coming to this idea so late? Better late than never.
You taught me how to listen to the lullabies of waves, to trust a battered heart can't find the rhythm that it craves. You taught me how to open to the rain and let it heal. We built a home from driftwood scraps where whispered hopes are real. Loving you was learning how to breathe beneath the tide. Impossible and wondrous when we stop the urge to hide and let them say we're too late, too lost, too hidden to belong. They don't see how turtles blossom when the world feels so wrong. The gentlest touch can...
Okay, so now I think I need to be very, very clever to not ruin this again, because it was already ruined. And now it's the time to build something new from those ruins, right? But something like this also gives me the possibility of having a test piece where I can now go on with the next step of this idea. I want to try to doodle on here like I did on the sheets yesterday, but not in such a extremely curvy way, but more artsy somehow, and yeah, don't know, more controlled perhaps. And this is a good piece to try that out. This is a brush pen. If I only see this, I nearly like it. Without such a thing on top. But even this looks better than before. Let's take a thinner pen as well. This is 0.6 millimeters. And it has this, you know, not a brush tip, but just a normal tip. I'm really surprised how well that is embedded in the whole thing now. What do you think about this? I think I need a night to sleep and then, you know, look at this again. Another thing I need to try out, otherwise I can't sleep. I mean, I'm not planning to sleep now, but you know, during the next night, I will print these pages where I have the acrylic paint on again. And then I want to fuzzy cut the flowers where the splashes are to see if it can look even more interesting if we layer parts of the flowers as a second layer over this. Because now it looks, obviously, because we have done it like that, like the acrylic paint has fallen to the page and it's just on the thing. And all of the flowers on the print are in the background now. And I want to see if I can layer this somehow to obviously not cover everything up, but to make it more interesting and having some of the flowers from the background over the stuff here. And I'm, oh my goodness. While I'm saying that, I'm just thinking, shall we try to print some of these pages to some overhead transparencies as well? This requires a ton of patience. It's still not completely dry, but I can't wait. I just need to go on and play with the things I have cut out here. I have printed some of my pages to overhead transparency so that we can play around with this effect here now. And some of the pages I have printed again on just regular matte photo paper, the same paper like I have already here. And this here is the flower I want to start with. And I thought I have this. So this is not one of the flowers from here, but it's this one here. Can you see? It's just this portion here. I thought if we perhaps can do it somehow like this, so that this here gets part of the whole thing. But I'm thinking, is that even too much? I think I might want to cut off even more so that we see more of this. But the good thing is that it's translucent now and that we still see this white through the transparent material. Perhaps we can even do it like this somehow. When I see it now, I don't know if I shall like it or not. I also had taken this a second ago just to see how translucent the overhead transparency is. And how did I do that? Because here I had a position for this flower which I really liked. There are multiple options now for this. And now we can perhaps play around with the shapes of this white acrylic paint and these shapes. And what I also want to try is to add some of these. And what I also should have in mind now is that this will be like so in the journal later. Fold that so that you see what you will see later in the journal and that you don't get distracted by the other page. I'm going to use some bookbinders. Ooh, bookbinders glue. What happened to my glue? Oh, no. I will put just a little drop here, exactly there where this will cover the overhead transparency, so that the glue later is not visible on the one hand, and on the other hand this makes that this is loose, so that when this is dry you have this layer still, you know, in the air somehow. And this little piece I will glue here like so, so that this functions as a little page tab later. I think that's really cute. This here is this flower. Printed on overhead transparency. Holy cow, this looks really cool. So let's try to cut this off. Like so. Oh, look at this. This what comes through here from the acrylic paint. This looks absolutely amazing.
The gentlest touch can turn a shadow shell into a home for two. We're not what they all expected, but I'm so glad that I've got you. We are Raggedy Turtle Bloom. Ooh, shipwrecked souls that chase the sun. Oh, moving slow with the weathered shells, but now we journey on and on and on. Every page we stitch together, every shell we leave behind. In a world that rushes past us, I found your hand in mine. No storm will ever break apart the bond we made from ruins. We are Raggedy Turtle Bloom, wild and bright, a loving tune. We are Raggedy Turtle Bloom, wild and bright at the edge of the world with you.
No. And if I have a situation like this that I don't like it, I like this, I mean, that's why I have glued it down already. Then I take this off, I take this and I put it away. For how long? I can't tell you. It could also happen that when I look at this again and again and again, that I think, okay, I can't find pieces which want to go here. Perhaps that is the solution. That for now, this wants to stay exactly like it is. And perhaps later, when I have this in the journal, I might find a solution which I like even better than with these elements. That could also be that in the process, I find materials or ideas or whatever, which fit way better than what I had here. And that is then, for me, the proof that I need to trust my belly feelings, you know, and that I then, you know, don't go on in that moment with that page, but with another one, if that makes sense. This struggling will make sense in the end. I'm really convinced that that is a fact. And it's exactly this phenomenon that you sometimes need to go through those really crazy stages of something, and then in the end you think, oh my goodness, this is great. I absolutely love it. And I think this page doesn't even need more than just this little thing, and perhaps some inking. Yeah. And this is also the reality, at least the reality for someone like me who tries to make videos for you. I need to stop this here now, and I need to make more of these flowers. It drives me crazy that I only have these. I haven't paid enough attention to making more of these before recording this, but it drives me crazy that I don't have enough options here to choose from. And that is why we are going to stop this here now. But I am hoping that you could find some inspiration in this video. This is, I would say, my favorite page of this whole session, and I really like how this came out. I will probably also splatter a little bit more with white to these pages. And yeah, then we will hopefully see in the next video with one of the next steps I'm going to do here. It looks like the biggest mess I've ever seen here, but that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your day and have fun with your own projects on your own desk. See you the next time. Bye bye.